Hi everyone, this is Cole Chance at Yoga TX. Thank you for joining me on your mat. We're gonna do a little bit of back strength and stretching. Most everybody, I'm a massage therapist as well, and everybody has back issues. A lot of that is from the way we live our lives all out in front of us and hunched over. So we're just gonna do some things to try to open that up and do a little strengthening as well. And hopefully get you right back on your feet and feeling well. So let's start on our knees. Let's start on our knees in child's pose. So wide leg child's pose, knees wide. So we'll be coming forward and walking your hands out as much as you can. You're gonna rest your forehead on the mat. So on your inhales, you're really feeling your belly expand in between your thighs. And you're also feeling it 360 degrees. So my back is also rising as my belly's falling. It's really expanding. See if you can walk a little bit farther out here. And release. Let's take our right hand and let's slide it underneath this little angle we've made here with our left hand. So we're just gonna take a little twist here. So you can stay right here. You can start to walk your left hand over to the right and twist your chest to the sky. You can also take your left arm around your back, if that's available. Just some different options. You can also just stay right here. So I'm kind of pushing, you can bend your elbow as well if you want to push the ground away. So many options. Just make some organic movements and see what feels good to you. And release. And we'll come back, so we'll draw the right arm back, extend it back out long, take our left arm and take it under. So you can just stay right here if you'd like, getting a good stretch on your left shoulder, deltoid area. Or you could start to play around with some variations. You can push the ground away with your right hand. You could walk your right hand over to the left side of the mat. You can also take it behind your back. So find a variation that works for you. Another big inhale. And release. Let's take both arms out wide. Let's lift our hips, keeping our arms out in the front of the mat. So this is called puppy pose. Keep your arms out really straight and as long as you can. And relax your forehead on the ground. Just really getting a good stretch here. One more inhale. And release. Come up into cat-cow. Let's take a couple rounds of this, just really getting some articulation in your spine. So pushing the ground away on your exhales, shooting your spine up towards the sky, tailbone down, and then coming back through. So when you're coming through, have the action of pulling your palms towards your knees. That'll really get a good stretch. Again. Let's twist to the left. So maybe turn your head and your hip towards the left. Getting a good stretch on the left side of your spine. Let's do it to the other side. So we're articulating our spine in all directions. This is getting a good left body stretch as well. Let's twist to the other side one more time. Good, and coming to center. We'll take that same threading the needle on this side. But first, let's open up to the right. Really open, open, open. And then thread underneath your left hand. So you can play with the same variations here that we did on the other side. They'll be accessible in different ways. So you can push the ground away and really get a big twist. You can put your hand behind your back. Wherever you are, let's take our left leg out. And you can push a little bit farther here. Another inhale. And release, and bring all your pieces back in. So bring your leg in. Your arm will go all the way back up and open to the right, and plant your hand. Let's do that on the other side. So left arm up and over, big stretch. And then we'll thread down. And find your variation. You can always switch halfway through. Bringing your right leg out to the side. Might as well multitask here. Get a little hip stretch. And release, pushing yourself back up with your right hand. Bringing your leg back in, opening all the way up. And then back to center. Let's bring our hands up a little bit. Fingers wide, most of the weight in this L shape. So you can play with lifting your other fingers up. That's where you want the most of your weight. Let's tuck our toes and push up into down dog here. Just stay here for a few breaths. Let's really push the ground away. After I've been giving several massages, I crave a down dog from my back. Back starting to get a little tired. I just really want to get in this shape for a few breaths. Really good full body stretch. We'll come forward into plank pose. We're gonna come down to our belly, so you can come down to your knees, or you can come straight down with your knees straight. But we want our elbows in. Move your hips so that you're in a diagonal shape. And then we'll come slowly all the way down to the ground. We'll do a little bit of strengthening here. So I'm rooting the tops of my feet into the ground. I'm rooting my pelvis into the ground. My elbows in. I'm gonna inhale and come up. I'm not wanting very much weight in my hands, and actually if you want to bring your hands up, you can do that as well. Or you can tent them and just kind of have them there for stability. We're wanting to strengthen here. And release. You can lay your cheek to one side or the other. This time, let's bring our hands down by our side, our arms down by our side, and bring your palms facing down. Bring your face back to center. Inhale, push your feet and your palms into the ground and lift up. And try to walk your palms towards your feet. One more inhale. And release. Resting your other cheek on the ground. Coming back to center. Let's bend our legs. Grab your ankles or your feet. So there's different variations of this, but we're gonna do the one where I'm gonna leave my thighs and my pelvis on the ground. So I'm really just gonna be pulling my chest up. So instead of pulling everything up, I'm just gonna be working on my chest. So I'm going to really kick my feet into my hands and pull my chest up. See how my shoulders can be forward here? We don't want that. We want to roll our shoulders back. One more breath. And release everything down. And shake your hips side to side. Let's plant our hands. Push your hips back to your heels. And let's have our knees together this time. So as in the first child pose, we were getting more into our hips by sinking with our legs wide and sinking down low. This time we'll get more of an arch in our back. And let your shoulders hang over. Just kind of stretching this back line from shoulder to shoulder. Really feeling, being aware of your body rising and falling with your breath. Go ahead and plant your hands and we'll press up. We'll do a little dancing camel here. This is nice. So come up to sitting on your knees. And if you need something underneath your knees, then just feel free to grab a towel or a blanket or a pillow or anything that you want. And I can just pop a pillow right here real quick and show you. I'm gonna tuck my toes. So my heels are coming up and my toes are tucked under. I'm gonna take my left hand to my heel. I'm gonna press my hips forward. And if you wanna just stay right here, then that's completely fine. I'm gonna take my right arm up and look back towards my left heel. You can stay right here. You can come down a little bit farther. Just find your edge. You can also keep your left hand on your sacrum and just look back at your heel. So we'll swing our arms around, bend at the hips. Take my right hand to my right heel or leave it on my right side of my sacrum. Pushing my hips forward, I'm looking over at my right foot. So you know where we're going. We'll do this a couple times a little bit faster. So I'm bending, hinging at the hips. I'm coming around, planting my left hand, and coming up with my right. Hinging at the hips, swinging around, planting my right. Hips forward, looking up and back or looking down. And one more time. Swinging around, dancing camel, and one last time. Good. We'll come to sitting. And we'll just take a couple spinal twists and try to equalize some of that work. So come to a seated pose, and again, you can use a pillow or something underneath your hips. So first, let's just plant our left hand, right palm facing up. Let's just go up and over here, sending your chest towards the sky. You can also take your hand behind your head and kind of like lean back into it, real like diva style. And we'll do that on the other side. So right arm down, left arm up and over. You can keep it up and over with your chest turning forward. If this helps you, it helps me a little bit to put my hand behind my head and kind of lean back. Really getting this QL muscle and the lower back. Lower side body, lower back. And then right hand to your left knee. Left hand behind your sacrum, lift and twist. One last time, lift twist. Coming back around. Left hand to your knee, right hand behind your sacrum. You know where we're going. And twist. Lift. And twist. And coming back to center. Well, thank you all for practicing. And these are just some really good stretches. Maybe if some of them weren't accessible, you can work towards that, or you can take that out and just work with what feels good in your body. We're all different, so our practice will all look very different. So honor that, and thank you for practicing. Again, Cold Chants at YogaTX, our new website, yogatx.org is up, and also you can follow us on Instagram at YogaTX or Cold Chants Yoga. And see you all next time. Thanks for joining. Think about visualizing that. Your shoulder blades coming together onto your back, chin up, sternum going towards the ceiling here. Exhale, we're gonna round. So bring your elbows together, tuck your chin as you start to curl your back. This should light up the muscles going on either side of your spine here. So you can control the intensity. So if you need to not go as far, this can be intense. Inhale.